Hey, what is up guys? Clunky here and welcome to my no BS best alley chamois build for the season 4 in World of Warcraft. Okay, today we're going to discuss the stats first and then we're going to jump into the talents, the PvP talents. I'm going to show you how to play against casters or melee heavy comps, and then I will be talking about the macros that I use, and I will be showing you guys all the burst rotation. So it's going to be super simple if you follow this guide. So this right here is a full list of the top players in the world right now in solo shuffle. Okay, and I was able to place myself at the 21st spot worldwide, okay, with this build. So it's not a flex. I have 10 tunes to cap, so I cannot afford to just like grind rating and try to be the best player. I don't really care about that. I just want to gear up my character, move on to my other characters, because I do guides for every character in World of Warcraft. I don't have the time to go and climb the rating, but it is the build that all the top rank 1 players are playing right now, okay? So now that that is out of the way, let us jump straight into what are the best stats for Elu Chamois. It's pretty simple. As always, Chamois needs a bunch of haste. I'm going to explain you guys why and how as the video unfolds. Okay, but basically more haste means that your global cooldowns will be much faster, and what is going to happen is most of your damage comes from flame shock. Okay, flame shock, when you apply it to a target, you have a chance to gain an instant lava burst, and the more haste that you have, the more flame shocks that are ticking on your enemies, the faster you will gain those lava bursts. That's how it works. So haste, I would say 32%. Right now, we're running the very best in slot pieces that you can have right now for your Elu Chamois. Okay, so haste on everything, haste gems, haste and versatility gems, in fact. And then we have haste shoulders, we have haste cape that you can get from the honor PvP vendor. And then we have the Great Wolf Outcast's harness. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys a little bit later in the video where you can get those, because it's super confusing. But part of getting that piece of gear, okay, is actually getting 1600 in rated PvP, be it arenas, solo shuffle, and RBGs. For your chest, you need Awakening Stats enchant. For your cape, you need homebound speed. For your wrist, you need the enchant that gives you 200 speed. For your hands, you need the haste hands for sure. Your waist, you need haste again. I'm not actually running an enchant on my belt because it costs us too much money at the moment. It's like 10k on my server, but if you can get the enchant, it gives you a little bit of stam. Okay, so for your legs, you're gonna need the enchant that gives you 177 intellect and 131 stam. Okay, again, this one we bought it from the PvP rated gear vendor. For your feet, you need to craft those. Okay, it is possible right now, the first week, to actually craft a piece of your choice. And how you do it, pretty simple. I'm going to show you guys right now. Just talk to this girl right here. She gives you 3 quests, and out of the 3 quests, you have 2 quests where if you complete them, you actually gain 1 charge of the spark. You complete the 2 of them, you get 2 charges. You can combine them, and then what you can do is you go over there, okay, and it is the place to craft your feet piece, okay, because you're gonna need that one. It actually adds a lot of damage whenever you CC an enemy. As for your rings, you're gonna choose Versa Mastery and Haste Versatility, and for your enchants, you're gonna need Haste Enchants. Pretty simple. We're running with the Draconic Aspirant's Insignia of Alacrity. It is way better than the 1-minute unused trinket because this one procs more often, and it honestly adds more to your damage overall. So for your main weapon, you're gonna need Sophic Devotion. You need that one. It's the best enchant possible for Elu Chamois right now. Is the best one for PvP, period. Okay, it might change in the future, so make sure you hit the bell button to stay updated whenever I make build videos for you guys. Why aren't we running with Precognition? That's a pretty good question, okay? The reason why is Ellie has so many spell scrolls. It doesn't matter if you get kicked. If you're a Shadow Priest, you're gonna need Precognition for sure. But as an Ellie Chamois, you got 3 scrolls of magic. You've got Ice Fury. You've got Lava Burst, which is your Flame Shock and your Lava Burst. The Fire spell scroll. And then you got Nature spell scroll, which is your big defensives, your totems, Astral Shift. And pretty much the only thing that you need to know is that if you don't have Precognition, you need to be careful whenever you're hardcasting Hex. The rest of it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is Hex, because when you're casting Hex, if you get locked on it, you won't be able to use your big defensives like Astral Shift, okay? And your totems also. The rest of it doesn't matter because you're never hardcasting Lava Burst ever with this build. And Ice Fury, well, it's just like a little bit of damage added, and honestly, you want people to kick you. You want people to actually kick your Ice Fury, so you're able to free cast your Hex after that. With that being said, we're gonna jump straight into the talents. All right, let's go. Hot stuff, baby. So, as an Ellie Chamois, you got 2 possible builds, whether you're fighting melee comps or you're fighting caster comps, okay? Fighting DHs, you need the right build, right? Because these guys will wipe the floor with your face if you don't. But I'm here to tell you guys about it. So, this build right here is perfect to fight melees, okay? The reason why we're playing with Astral Bulwark, okay, it reduces the damage by 20% more whenever you use your Astral Shift, okay? And with this talent right here, with this passive ability, now your Astral Shift reduces all damage by 60%. Like, that is kind of good, right? 60% less damage. On top of that, we're playing with Stone Skin Totem. And what's happening? It gives you 10% more physical damage reduction. So you're looking at 70% less damage from physical damage. The other thing that you need to keep in mind whenever you are fighting melees is you're gonna need a Static Field Totem. Why Static Field Totem over everything else? It is pretty good. If you know how to use it, it is pretty good, okay? So you literally just like drop Static Field Totem and then you switch its place, and then it's going to drag everything that is inside your Static Field Totem towards the next place that you place it, which is a good thing because it gives you a breathing room. You can actually save teammates from melees, and as soon as you're ready, you can actually dump a root totem on top of everything. So the targets are still rooted and you're getting a couple of seconds to breathe and just like recuperate your momentum, you know? So that's a pretty good PvP talent. You guys need to play with that. Okay, we're playing with Static Field and Totemic Projection. Those are pretty good. You need them, okay? So that was the build against melee heavy characters. You're gonna need Burrow, of course. You're gonna need Sky Fury for those big hits. And then the rest of it, I'm gonna explain you guys in the full burst rotation. It's gonna be pretty simple. At this point, I'm pretty used to playing Ellie, so it's gonna be super simple for you guys. Right, so now this is going to be the best build possible if you are playing against a caster. If you're playing against caster, don't worry, you can switch Sky Fury Totem with Season Winds. Okay, Season Winds, whenever you actually interrupt someone with Wind Shear, it decreases the damage that they're going to be able to deal to you with that spell school by 15% for 18 seconds. Though, what's happening? It stacks. It stacks up to 3 times. So if you interrupt the same spell school 3 times in a row, you will be reducing the damage overall by 45%, which is absolutely insane. No way the spellcaster is going to be able to kill you. You're going to have an absolute 45% damage reduction from his magical abilities. So it makes Season Winds the best overall. On top of that, you got Grounding Totem, which is absolutely crazy whenever you use it. Nobody can actually shoot spells at you, okay? It's pretty dumb, but it is how it works. So we're not playing with Astral Bulwark against casters. We're playing against Plains Traveler, which reduces the cooldown of Astral Shift by 30%. seconds. Okay, we're playing with ancestral defense, increases leech by 2%. We don't care really much about leech, but we care about the damage reduction of area of effect attacks, AoEs basically. If you find yourself struggling, you can always switch that one talent right here with Capacitor Totem. Okay, it is going to be kind of super good if you can hit those big 3 people Capacitor Totems. It will kind of make a big difference in the battlefield, though it will screw over your teammates' DRs. Okay, diminishing returns. So keep that in mind. Before I show you guys the full burst rotation, I will show you guys where to get your free tier set piece in the first week of season 4 of Dragonflight. Keep in mind, you need 1600 rating in solo shuffle, RBGs or arenas. And then you will get what is called a mark mastery, which you can then exchange to this character that is right here in the corner, that woman, which is called Arostrasa. Okay, pretty cool name. And then on the map, we're in Valdraken right here. Okay, just gonna show you guys exactly where it is. It's right here in this little cabin right here. Okay, Bronze Enclave. So you talk to that girl, and here's the super important part. If you, I feel sorry for people who did not watch that part. You have 2 columns, okay, and you need to buy your pieces from this column right here. Those are the PvP pieces. If you buy those ones, you're gonna regret them because it is not meant for PvP. Okay, you're still gonna get a tier set, but it is not going to be higher level in PvP. So you absolutely need to make sure you are getting a piece from that column over here. Alright, so now that we spoke about everything, now is going to be the full burst rotation, guys. Okay, so we're getting into the spicy stuff, and I made sure that you guys can follow along. I've installed an add-on which shows the spells that I'm pressing, so you don't have to worry. You will know what's happening on the screen. Alright, so first of all, if you guys don't know, whenever you spawn your fire alley and then you flame shock someone, your flame shocks are gonna last way longer. So you always need beforehand, before starting your burst, to use your fire alley. All right, so that's first step. And then you want to proceed to flame shocking as many targets as possible. Okay, so one way that we can actually do it is pretty simple. Is whenever you use primordial wave, okay, it counts as if you've used your Arc Shock, okay? And with Surge of Power, we're actually running with Surge of Power right now. And what Surge of Power actually does, listen carefully, this is very important. Whenever you use Earth Shock or Alley Blast, your next Flame Shock will also apply itself to one additional target within 8 yards of your target. So here's the catch. Assuming that you have 2 pieces of the tier sets, which you can have right now, first week of Season 4 in Dragonflight, okay, we're gonna just like check the tooltip. Primordial Wave also casts an Alley Blast, Elemental Blast. So you guys know where this is going, right? Every time you use Alley Blast, your next Flame Shock will get applied to one nearby target. So with 2 global cooldowns with Primordial Wave into a Flame Shock, you will be dotting 3 people with Flame Shocks. 3 people with 2 global. So that is very important. That is a super good trick. So I feel super sad for the people who actually skip that part. This brings us to the next step of this Fire Alley build. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys a very cool macro that you guys need to try for yourself. Okay, it is, in my opinion, one of the best macro in the whole game. It makes it super simple. You know how hard it is for Alley Shaman to apply your Flame Shocks everywhere and keep changing targets just to apply your Flame Shocks and go back to your main target and use your Lava Burst, and then when your Flame Shock is again available, you switch to that target and then you go back to your main target, and then you have to do this every 6 seconds. It is absolutely not fun in my opinion, but I got a fix for you. That's a very cool macro. So I made a macro that makes it so that every time I want to use my flame shocks on another target, which is not my main target, and watch carefully. Whenever I hover my mouse over another target and I press my macro, bang! You see, flame shock is applied to that target without me having to actually manually target that target and then switch back to my main target, which makes this macro so cool. But it's only the beginning, okay? I also have a macro which makes my primordial wave do the same stuff. So you really never have to switch your freaking target at all. See, I fully dotted everything right here without having the need to target them in the first place. That is going to be a macro that I will link down in the description so you guys can check it out, all right? So it's going to be though you have to keep something in mind. This is a hover macro, so you're gonna need to put your mouse on top of your enemy that you want to use your flame shocks on, and then use your flame shocks or your primordial wave for it to actually work. So just keep that in mind. To make it as short as possible, if you want to do as much damage as possible with Ali Shami, you absolutely need to understand what I'm going to show you guys right now, all right? So first off, elemental equilibrium. How it works, pretty simple. Whenever you deal fire, frost, and nature damage within 10 seconds, it will increase all damage dealt by 8%, almost 10% more damage for 10 seconds. Right, good. Now, there's a hidden trick that most people don't actually know or understand right now, is you don't actually need to deal fire, frost, and nature damage. In fact, you can proc it in another way, okay? I'm gonna show you guys right now. So, flame shock on my target, and then I use Ice Fury into Frost Shock. Bam! We proc elemental equilibrium. We did not use nature damage. In fact, we only used fire and frost damage, but it counted as nature damage when I used my Ice Fury. That's one pro tip that I can give you right here. And then the next tip is going to make your gameplay even better. Splintered elements. How it works, it's super simple. You're going to see where this is going. You remember when I explained you guys how to abuse your primordial wave to put more flame shocks fast? That's right. Now with splintered elements, the more flame shocks that you have active on your targets whenever you use primordial wave and then lava burst, it is going to increase your haste tremendously. Okay, so we already have 30% haste, and then we're getting kind of heroism. Every 45 seconds, when you use primordial wave, if you got a bunch of flame shots active on, might be pets, players, whatever, when you use that primordial wave into lava burst, it will increase your freaking damage and haste like crazy. So it's very important that you guys actually understand that part. And then finally, we got Wind Speaker's Lava Resurgence. So this one is pretty much a no-brainer. Whenever you are filled with Maelstrom, which is your resource, and you press Earth Shock, which you need to press whenever you have too much resource to spend, you will gain a free Lava Burst. Your next Lava Burst is going to deal 10% more damage. So those principles are super important for Ali Shami, all right? So just to recap very fast, Elemental Equilibrium boosts your damage by 8% for 10 seconds. And then the more flame shocks you got active on your targets before you press Primordial Wave into Lava Burst gives you a ton of haste, which increases all of your damage, makes it very much faster for you to spam your Lava Bursts. And then you want to abuse Wind Speaker's Lava Resurgence, which gives you more damage on your Lava Burst after pressing Earth Shock. And then Flux Melting, which causes your Lava Burst to deal 20% more damage every time you Frost Shock. And then on top of that, Sky Fury Totem, which actually increases all of your damage by 20%, your critical damage. So you guys understand what Ellie is right now. It's a power stacking type of character. You actually need to do it in a specific order to deal as much damage as possible. All right, let's get into the full burst rotation right now, right? So Fire Ellie first, Flame Shock, Ice Fury, Frost Shock, and then Sky Fury Totem, big dotty, and then when you're ready, big damage. And then you want to redot as many people as we can. with my macro. And at this point, we're spamming lava bursts. We're spamming lava bursts. We're getting so many procs right now. It's kind of crazy dumb, man. Crazy dumb. We're spamming, we're spamming, we're spamming. And then we're about to get our primordial wave again. Every city available. We're gonna go with huge ice fury, rush shock. And then we spam everything. We use our crit totem again. Big, big, big lava bursts. And when you don't have a proc for lava burst, you just like frost shock in between. You read up people, and at this point, it's pretty much just luck if you get your ascendance proc, and you spam those big, big freaking lava bursts. So that's pretty much how the full burst works for Ali Shami. Lava burst actually dealing most of our damage. Absolutely crazy. I love it because in this season, in season 3 and 4 of Dragonflight, lava burst actually deals meaningful damage once again. So lava burst hitting for max number of 210k. That is kind of dumb and also very fun at the same time. So this is by doing the perfect rotation, you're gonna be dealing so much damage with this this build with lava burst. Your flame shock still dealing kind of okay damage, but you're more spamming flame shocks for the lava burst generation. That's pretty much it. So if you have lots of flame shocks active, you will, just like what happened, gain even more lava bursts. That's how it works, okay? So remember, we did not proc our big heroism, which gives us 30% more haste because we cannot use it in arenas. But if I did, I would have pulled way more damage, would have been able to spam way more lava bursts everywhere. So just remember that I could have used heroism before the fight happened, right? So frost shock dealing around 120k damage and 216k, which is pretty not bad at all. Earth shock dealing not the best damage, but it's mostly there just to spend your maelstrom and get back those insanely hard hitting lava bursts. And then you got primal fire elemental, which is dealing 140k, which comes from using the meteor. Okay, I got right here another macro that I can give you. I'm gonna put all my macros down in the description for you guys. That macro, what it does, pretty simple. Whenever you use your fire alley, okay, it's a 1 key macro. You use your fire alley, and then when you repress the fire alley macro, I'm gonna do it just right here. It uses your meteor, so it combines 2 abilities with 1 key, making it way more faster. Because as you guys know it, Ali Shami has so many buttons everywhere. If we can actually save 1 button, we're gonna do it. So again, I'm gonna put that macro down in the description. I will be giving you guys the macro for flame shocks on targets that I'm not overing over. Okay, and also I got another macro which is super cool. It's my art grab macro. Whenever I'm pointing with my mouse somewhere, whenever I hit that macro, it will drop down a root macro, hitting everything. So it makes it very more fluent for you guys to actually use your stuff. And I believe you kind of need those macros, man. It makes it super faster for you to be able to dish out your damage without having to re-click the ability on the ground. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this guide video. If you did, I would highly appreciate it if you would subscribe, hit the thumbs up, hit the bell button, and share this build to your friends who actually want to learn about Ali Shami, and also on your Facebook groups, everywhere. That actually helps me because I put a lot of time and effort into making these guides the best that I can do. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks a lot for watching. It really means a lot. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day and a lot of fun with Ali Shami. See you on the next one, gentlemen. That was Clunky Dude.